Mm-hmm. All right. Good morning, everybody. UFC on ESPN 25 official weigh-ins set to get going here in just a couple minutes. Your man, Cold Coffee, Kid Hathaway, providing that beautiful 4K stream there for you. I'll be back here updating things, taking pictures, tweeting, updating the website, all that good stuff. But we'll jump in here and chat when we can. And Rude, how's it going this morning? I'm doing good. It's been a hot, hot week in Vegas. 115 degrees. So we're happy to be inside the air conditioning this morning, getting ready for these official weigh-ins. Kind of a under-the-radar fight card, I'd say, but some good fights on deck. Some really interesting interviews. If you didn't get a chance to check out the Media Day interviews, some really kind of reflective interviews from veterans, Matt Brown and Alexi Olynyk. So if you're interested in getting a little pre-fight content going, head on over to MMA Junkie or the MMA Junkie YouTube channel, the archives of everything. Check out those Media Day interviews. Pretty solid there. Like I said, some kind of deeper, reflective interviews there. What's that? Oh, did it? Awesome. Cold Coffee shouting out that the internet speeds dropped dramatically the second we fired up the stream. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we don't have a whole lot of Bruce buffering going on. You know what I'm saying? Derek Hall, what it do? And a Rube main event could be a barn burner. I agree. We didn't stream live during the media day, and Rude, we had some internet issues, unfortunately. Seems to be a recurring pattern here at the UFC Apex. Hetal Hyang saying, let's go Zombie. Good fight in the main event. Zombie, Dan Ige. Key featherweight bout there that should be an absolute barn burner. Jake Corner heading out to Vegas next week. Let's go. Make sure you stay hydrated while you're out here. It was a hot one this week. I don't know if it's supposed to be any cooler next week, but for your sake, Jake, I hope it is. It was a pretty hot one this week. Spoon, we're getting started right now. We just fired it up early to make sure everything was handling right and working well. Got John Annex grabbing the microphones. Time to get this thing started. Let's do it.
Who's got the first question?
You know where it's at. You know where it's at.
Yeah, who's your Adesanya putting him over at the press conference? Raise off a loss minus 108 tonight. Where do I sign? What do you say, Jeff?
What's going on?
You all right? Nice to see you, man.
Shake hands now.
You ready? 55? All right, thank you all for being here for the official weigh-in for UFC Fight Night, the Korean Zombie versus Ige, and we will begin with a prelim that you can see live on ESPN 2 in the UFC's lightweight division. First athlete to the scale, Neto BJJ, Joaquim Silva. 154.5, the official weight for Joaquim Silva. All right, next fighter to the scale. You can see him compete live on the main card in the UFC's featherweight division, Julian Juicy J. Erosa. $145.5, the official weight for Julian Erosa. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's lightweight division. Good to have this man back, Ricky the Gladiator Glenn.
even.
156 pounds, the official weight for Ricky Glenn. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's welterweight division, Matthew Semmelsberger.
Even.
170 pounds for Matthew Semmelsberger. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC women's flyweight division. First fight tomorrow live on ESPN 2 and E+, Casey O'Neill. $125.5, the official weight for Casey O'Neill. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's light heavyweight division. He is Nikolai Negu Medianu. $205.5, the official weight for Nikolai Negu Medianu. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's middleweight division. He has waited a long time to make his UFC debut as we welcome Bruno Silva. The official weight, 186 pounds for Bruno Silva. All right, next fighter to the scale, one of the best strawweights in the world, former Invicta FC champion, Vera Janjidoba. The official weight, 115 pounds for Vera Janjidoba. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's welterweight division, Chaos Williams.
even.
169 pounds, the official weight for Chaos Williams. All right, next fighter to the scale, a man who needs no introduction around these parts. Charged with kicking off the main card in the UFC's welterweight division, the legend Matt the Immortal Brown.
$170 and a half.
170.5 pounds for Matt Brown. All right, turning and burning now to the middleweight division. Next athlete to the scale is Wellington Turman.
$185 and a half.
185.5, the official weight for Wellington Turman. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's light heavyweight division, Alexa Kammer.
$204 and a half.
204.5, the official weight for Alexa Kammer. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's bantamweight division, Dangerous Davey Grant.
$135 and a half.
135.5 for Davey Grant. All right, next fighter to the scale, one half of the co-main event live on ESPN2 in the UFC's heavyweight division, Sergey Spivak.
$242.
The official weight, 242 pounds for Sergey Spivak.
Yeah, like 24 or something like that. It was a lot.
All right, next athlete to the scale in the UFC women's flyweight division, Lara Procopio.
126 even.
126, the official weight for Lara Procopio. All right, next fighter to the scale. He is one of the men around whom this fight card was built. The 8th-ranked UFC featherweight contender, Dan 50K Ige. 146 pounds, the official weight for Dan Ige. All right, next fighter to the scale. Competing live on the main card here tomorrow in the UFC's featherweight division, Sungwoo Choi.
Even.
146, the official weight for Sungwoo Choi. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's bantamweight division, 15th ranked contender, Marlon Chitovera.
Even.
136, the official weight for Chitovera. All right, next fighter to the scale, charged with kicking off the main card in the UFC's welterweight division, Diego Lima.
Even.
171, the official weight for Diego Lima. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC women's strawweight division, Kanako Murata.
and a half.
114 and a half, the official weight for Kanako Murata. All right, next fighter to the scale, another one of the men around whom this entire fight card was built. The fourth-ranked featherweight contender in the world, the Korean zombie, Chan Sung Jung.
126 even.
The official weight, 146 pounds for the Korean zombie, Chan Sung Jung. And that means your main event for UFC Fight Night is official.
hole in a warehouse. I saw something that I saw like the dugout. So they were up 2-0 going into the ninth. So Wade Miley taking no game. And you're watching. Everyone's like, it's bad at first pitch. It's like 450 feet off the Western Metal Building. And you're just like, what the fuck just happened? One strike away. You have to losing 4-2. Chicago dropped a lot. Second half of the place is going close. Goes down and it falls to bat up like that. Those are the times. They lost me like that. I told you to text my buddy from podcast and wanted to take him over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't get a charge. But now it's good. How about Alex Olynyk? No one's going to know. You see that coming? I bet on the Golden Knights to win the cup in February, and because I was some really irrational bets on Montreal to try. It's a little bit of a hedge for the Golden Knights ticket, but also it's like trying to pay to make sure you get lose no money. I think I was already too deep, but you know, come back and too obviously. But you know what's crazy is like just you know that any team would get to the final and still be like 12 or 14. It's nuts. Like the Atlanta Hawks, right? They go down 2-1 to the Sixers, and all of a sudden they're like 30-1 to win the title. Then they go up 3-2 in the series. And, you know, they're 17. The lines are, you know. They had one game in the playoffs this year. Especially after the Knights were 8-1 to come back. So when you go to Starbucks, so yeah, I'd like a grande, fucking salted caramel, fucking market. Like, I don't talk to them. Do it over there. Alright, but what if you have to order, like, what if I have to go in and order first, I get something different. I get cold brew. Just give me a cold brew. Simple. Because I don't want to be that guy that rattles off. Can I have a grande salted caramel coffee, unsweetened, no water, no sugar?
Just a wisp of cinnamon. Just a wisp.
One of my ex-girlfriends used to make me order that shit. 8 things. It was extra hot. Get this particular stopper on it. Get it. Hold it for like somewhere 30. So what was made in baseball? starting on Monday. Without the other team complaining. Random checks. Well, pitchers and batters. Expect the shot. No, as long as it's not past the mark. That was so the hindsight thing was because it was such short time. They got rid of that rule. And they changed the short reg. They because of the short reg. It's not like I don't know. It's like offense is down. They didn't choose the first ball, so when you strike the out, some batters are like players are getting better. Dude, Pete Alonso is the most broken corner in the league. Read the green card to read the fucking green, and then the ability to actually rest a putter on yourself, like like Xander Schauffele, he was playing the US Open on the Scotland course, right? And he was a top 10 putter on the tour. When then he was strongly recommended by his coach or whatever to switch to this putter, where like I guess you can like lean it up against your body or something. I did not. And so Schauffele's like, you know, yeah, dude, I like it until they changed the rule. So he's now doing it. I didn't read the article. Very interesting. Just like one event everyone's wild to interview. Well, like the rental clubs, right? With the cavity now, you know, like my clubs are from the early 1990s at home, and it's like really
But we were planning on. We were like literally the call was up until that actual woods. Like, you know what?
yeah, right.
I'm gonna make it a decision.
But these with these cavities.
I need to catch Deontay a good. So he's going me in a great mood. That was like nonsense.
It's exactly keeping his headphones on the whole time. I'm glad you guys didn't waste the trip.
Thank you. You too. Luck of the draw.
These guys are hitting like $60 on the drive. So yeah, they can do that. But why do you guys Yes. Yeah. Pretty sure no golfers on tour 20 years ago looked like yeah, but some of the longer guys are yeah, but some of them no, he's not. That is a total misconception. Huge. He's fat. All the players. The other players. I think the other players are kind of on Team Kepka in this little I don't think so. Because he's a dick. Yeah. Like I like him. He's like one of the few golfers I follow on Instagram. He's a dick. Especially he's a lefty. there's no doubt that, like, I mean, if you believe in, like, these energy workers and what they're doing, like, I tend to believe that in some way, shape, or form they have helped her. But, you know, like, there was a time I went to her house, and she, like, 2 months ago, she was had a real hard time breathing because the swelling of her lungs, was coughing every other minute. The cough is, like, completely gone, and her breathing is much better. She's setting me up for sales. And, like, there are things that are improving with your unorthodox methods, but there are other things that are not. You know, all of a sudden she has, she's done it to what she is now. And then, like, you'll see some numbers that went way up, but you just read the doctor's language, like, not quite sure how this number went down, you know, but it did, you know, so, like, she's already exceeded her expectations. Like, they said to me at UFC 240, I'd like to bring in Marlon, you know, it's like, thanks, man. I just want to thank her for taking care of her, you know. So the fact that she's been, 15, 16 months since that, and, you know, she has great energy, but, you know, like, she'll, like, go pick up her dog, let the dog out, come sit down, and then she just, like, she goes white, and she feels really sick, and I'm like, you don't realize these bursts that we do, like, if I jumped up, grabbed the fucking dog, changed level, you know, you do all this, like, I'm gonna be moving heavy too, okay? But, like, she just needs sense, she needs to, she needs to, she needs sense. I look at the dog, it's like, yeah, that's it, at 125, I'm not, but I'm just trying to keep it real. But, like, you know, I was like, what do you need? Like, I was like, you know, like, I offered to see clinical, like, I was like, what do you mean, you know? And she's just like, like, now that her boyfriend offered, that's, I honestly believe she's breathing it because he's terrible, terrible dude. So he's gone completely off the shit. He's done. And so, like, I don't know, like, I'm, like, people are like, oh, how is she? It's like, well, it depends which way I want to lean. Like, it's like the weight thing is really, you know, dramatic. But, you know, like, in one breath, she'll say, like, can you please get me into the contract? And then she'll say, I can't afford to get moved. And I'm like, well, why do you want to not? So she says, she's reckless. And I did tell her as great as Chris is, like, nobody's I'm in Phoenix watching her second floor. Susie wouldn't be going doing anything unless that shit was still.
All right, next fighter to the scale, one half of the co-main event here on Saturday night in the UFC's heavyweight division. Number 15 in the world, Alexi Olynyk.
$228.
228, the official weight for the legend, Alexi Olynyk.
All right, finally all caught up. If you're just tuning in or hanging out, we're about 50 minutes into this 2-hour session, 51 minutes, I guess. All but 2 fighters have weighed in. Interestingly enough, it's opponents, but it's heavyweights Roque Martinez and Josh Parisian. Heavyweights, of course, kind of no real incentive for them to show up early because then they just have to hang out and wait for the face-offs. Although in this situation, with them being the last 2, if they would show up and weigh in, we could get these face-offs underway. So if Roque or Josh are watching right now or listening, or you happen to be with them, tell them to wrap up with breakfast and come on down and weigh in so we can get done with this whole thing. If you want to check out the latest results of all the weigh-ins so far, head on over to MMA Junkie. The list is updated there. Your entire main card is official at this point. Chan Sung-Jung, the Korean Zombie, Dan Ige both coming in at 146. Sergey Spivak in the co-main event, 242. Alexi Olynyk was the last one to weigh in just now, 228. And that was with his full gear on, so he's probably a little bit lighter than that even. Davey Grant at 135.5. Marlon Vera at 136. Julian Rosa, 145.5. Sungwoo Choi, 146. We've actually got I've got the gallery live over there as well. So if you want to see all the photos up to this point, you can do that. And of course, Cold Coffee, Ken Hathaway will have video highlights up later today as well. Scott Walton, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. And Rude, yes, my understanding is they're trying to reschedule that fight. Scrolled up a little bit. Just saw that. Derek, sounds like I got to get this thing under control. Kieran Taylor with the insight said Roque just got picked up at the hotel. Will be there within 10 minutes. Now we're talking. So we got this teamwork going on here now. We got anybody with ties to Parisian? Oop. Check. Maybe I didn't update the post. Maryland, thank you for the heads up. Let me hit update again. Make sure that went through. Trevor, shout out. Appreciate it. David Smith, what's up, brother? J-Rock, I don't think GSP's going to fight. All right, Kieran, appreciate the insight. Stalking the Instagram. Way to go, bro. Fight of the night prediction. Alan wants to know. I mean, Cheeto and Davey could be fun. Julian Rosa, Sungwoo Choi could be fun. Matt Brown's Diego Lima could be fun. Chaos and Simmelsberger could be good. Do I get 4 candidates? Hopefully I get 4 candidates. Dangerous Davey Grant, James is looking for. Oh, look at this. All right, look. Cold Coffee wants to try some production value. Check this out. Watch what he's about to do here. So we're just sitting here and we're bored and we don't have anything. Irregardless, what's up? Watch this. He's going to roll in the weigh-ins from earlier.
Featherweight contender Dan 50K Ige.
So if you want to see the highlight, you see here Dan Ige was forced to use the... He didn't seem pleased. He was on the check scale. Seemed a little frustrated that he had to get naked. Meanwhile, that's what he looked like once he got back on the scale.
All right, next fighter to the scale, another one of the men
Korean
around
Zombie
whom
as well.
this entire fight card
Chan
was built. The
Sung-Jung made his
fourth-ranked
way
featherweight
quickly to the
contender in the
stage.
world, the Korean Zombie Chan Sung-Jung. The official weight, 146 pounds for the Korean Zombie Chan
146
Sung-Jung.
as well
And
for the
that
Korean
means your main
Zombie. He
event
was
for
quickly
UFC
off.
Fight Night is official.
And our main event was official. How about that, huh? Look at that. Look at that cold coffee production value. Main event will be boring. Boy, I just don't see that, Tim. But if it is, I'll say you called it. I mean, I thought the main event was kind of a given that was candidate. I was just looking at some of those others as well. Mark Fellows, cheers to you, sir. Trevor Hackett, Tebow did not win that fight. Yeah, controversy last night, right? Controversy last night at PFL. All right, everybody's getting into place. Looks like we're gonna go back to live action.
All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's heavyweight division, Rocky Martinez. The official weight, 249 pounds for Rocky Martinez.
All right, so that leaves us just waiting on Josh Parisian. So if anybody wants to shoot Josh a text, let him know to wrap up breakfast and come on down. We'd appreciate it so we can get going. Kept you sharp, you know. got that photo loaded. Matt Erickson on the MMA Junkie chat had dropped some knowledge there. Parisian's last 2 weigh-ins were 265 and a half. I was not aware of that, to be honest with you. So maybe he is actually cutting weight and not just hanging around eating breakfast right now. If that's the case, my apologies, Josh. But if it's not the case, we'd appreciate it if you come on down.
When did he go by Ricky? I always called him Rick Glenn.
Just now.
So what, should I put him as Ricky?
Yeah, he actually is formal with the UFC, and he actually, his manager even told Nolan he wants to be Ricky Glenn now. Yeah. Yeah. Rick Glenn is now Ricky Glenn, for anybody that was wondering. Jermaine King, no fans in attendance. Maybe a couple, VIPs and that sort of thing, but they did not sell tickets for this thing just yet. Who was your favorite interviewee? It's tough, man. There's so many great people in the sport. There really is. Who knew John Anik was such a controversial figure? I thought Anik was universally loved. Okay, here comes Artie with the knowledge. Parisian is cutting weight. His BJJ coach put up an IG story 10 minutes ago. He had 2 pounds left. Look at Artie bringing the hard-hitting details. So he's still cutting weight. So just waiting on Josh Parisian at this point. All righty, regardless. Settle down. We don't need to be having any chat room drama. Here comes moderating the idiots. UFC 266, Anna Rude. Hold on, I gotta get my numbers straight. Which one is that one? Let's see. Let me pull up the handy schedule on MMA Junkie. Except that my internet connection's so bad here. Oh, they're still trying to work out a location for that one. I think that let me see. Had some notes on that. Yeah, I think they're still trying to work out a location for 266. That's September. I think I think possibly that ends up back here in Vegas. I think again, there's only so many places that are still doing full arenas right now, and that's the only place that Dana wants to go. I think that's a very real possibility that one could end up here in Vegas. Wish they could throw Colby in with Ngannou and see where it happens. Ian clearly not a Colby Covington fan. Morgan, please let Dana know he better not put Misha as the main event, July 31st. Yeah, kind of sucks to lose that fight, right? Could be Houston as well. There's only a couple places they could go right now, unfortunately. BC Dave wants to scuff Anik's shoes. Let's see what he's rocking today. Anybody can tell what those are? Anybody a big shoe guy know what he's rocking today? And he's always got something. Jordan Greenwood, yeah. That was pretty cool about a signing. That was a pretty funny moment in the press conference, man. That was good. What are those? Look at cold coffee with the camera work, bringing it in tight. Cold coffee's on point today. Production value, shoe game. All right. All right. We'll see if Anna breaks away. We'll get some insight on the shoes. Good call for cold coffee. Anna Rude wants the shout out. Usman ducking everyone. I don't know about that. I just don't think he wants to give Colby the opportunity, to be honest with you. I think he dislikes Colby Covington so much. He just doesn't want to give him the opportunity to fight him, to cash in, to make the money. That's the way I read it. I don't think Usman's scared of anybody. Kieran, how do I get to the post-fight pressure so fast? Do you wear New Balance or Nikes? Neither. I'm an Adidas man. I rock the Adidas. Derek Hall, I'd have to go with Hick Diaz tonight. I'd have to go with Hick Diaz over Crazy. No disrespect to Crazy Horse, but I think his best days are well behind him at this point. Plus, how do you not like Jason Knight? You know? Love Hick Diaz. Yeah, I agree, Trevor. GOAT. Absolutely not. Wonder Boy beats Burns using reach. Tough, man. That's an intriguing matchup. Little Dana White privilege for Colby. That was great. That's great. No, Brandon, I'm too professional for that. Trevor Hackett, no, it's Masvidal's new bare knuckle MMA promotion. Game Bred Fighting Championships, I think they're called, or Game Bred something. Of course, we're reading comments, Ian. Who wouldn't? I like to jump in here and chat when I can. Unfortunately, I have to get all the gallery and stuff done, so there you go. Game Bred Fighting Championships. Wonder Boy versus Burns will be a repeat of him versus Luke. Okay. Robert Whitaker, you should have said what's up. Yeah, Tebow, bad decision. I think a lot of people were feeling the exact same. Ian Pearson, what do you think about Nagano versus Colby Covington? I feel I wouldn't put Colby through that. How is Leon a bum? Leon is definitely not a bum at all. It's just definitely not. There's no way around it. No, people don't like to give Leon his due, but the man is skilled, and I feel bad that he's not. It looks like he's gonna have to fight once more to get a title shot. Kind of, wish that Nate fight would have been enough for him, but Dana said afterwards Colby's the number one contender. Of course, still got to get the fight done. Still got to get the contract in place. So We'll see. Let's go, Ige. A lot of people calling for Nagano versus Covington. Yeah, GOAT, he did almost lose everything, man. That was the craziest, man. That whole fight, you know, I went in picking Leon, and obviously, you know, everybody loves Nate, the superstar, but, you know, as it played out, I was like, yeah, well, it's just, you know, here we go. And then the last minute of that fight was just unbelievable, man. The crowd was on their feet, and I thought, oh, my God, is he going to do this? Like, what a chapter in history this would be. And obviously just didn't get it done, so. But what a crazy end to that fight it was. Natch, I don't think he would pass USADA right now, but he doesn't have to. That was the craziest username ever there, but it feels good. It feels good. I appreciate it. Yeah, Neon, that was pretty funny, right? Yeah, K. Would have been the best comeback of all time. Would have been one of them for sure. For sure. Gabe Killian, just one fighter left away in Josh Parisian, but we were told by one of our chat members here that his IG, or his BJJ Coast posted on IG that he was still cutting as of a few minutes ago. So still had 2 pounds to go. And then Matthew, yeah, you're absolutely right. Face-offs at the top of the hour. We could start a little earlier once Josh is here if everybody's good to go. Since they're not televised, they don't have to wait till 11 if they don't want to, if everybody's good to go. Good afternoon, Jens. Good to see you. Nigel, nah, everybody's good. Nobody passed out either, so that's good. And Rude, I don't know the deal with Trevor Whitman. I think he's still doing analyst work. Obviously he had some big fights lined up, so I hadn't heard anything about them like not renewing or anything like that. Jens, overall, it's been a pretty drama-free weigh-ins. I would say Dan Ige looked a little annoyed that he had to strip down and weigh twice. I think he was good on the check scale, so he seemed a little frustrated that he had to do that. Other than that, drama-free morning. Yeah, Trevor, hopefully Justin does get a fight soon, man. They need to get him booked. If Edwards don't get the shot, I'm illegally streaming for the next year. Nate versus Tony. That seems like the logical. Unpopular opinion says Paulo Costa backed out of his fight with Cannonier because of a hair transplant. Tristan, trying to get me in trouble up in here. Trying to get me in trouble. Nigel Lee, yeah. That was FFC, right? I think is where I commented on Jordan Levitt. Kevin Keegan, yeah. Chaos weighed in. Everybody is weighed in. We're just waiting on one person. We're just waiting on Josh Parisian at this point. Jens, I took Ige in the main event, but obviously Zombie can deliver it at any point, so we'll see. Naeem, I think they're trying to reschedule that fight. Keep it together, which is crazy. GOAT. Definitely don't do it for fame. But no, I'm a diehard MMA fan, man. I've wanted to be a sports writer. My passion was MMA, and I was able to put those two things together. So, but yeah, I absolutely love the sport. Omar cry himself to sleep if Zombie loses. Wow, that's hardcore zombie fandom right there. Big L, Ola from Ireland. You speaking Spanish over there in Ireland? Nigel, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. 145, Leon. Ian says he thinks he gay. Double hip replacement surgery at 32. Damn, Trevor. Sorry to hear that, brother. Is that a typo there? Oh, no, I know what you're... Jonathan put, I want Zombie to eat his breath. Oh, now he just deleted it. Aw. He said, I want Zombie to eat his breath, and I assumed that must have been a typo, but then I thought that was a reference to the Adesanya Vittori stare down. But then you deleted it, so maybe it was just a typo. Yeah, come on, Mo. Yeah, GOAT. We were talking about it this morning before the weigh-ins. Everybody's talking about how emotional it was when Moreno got the belt. Man, I mean, he's a beloved figure. Obviously, such a happy-go-lucky guy. And kind of some of the staff around here this morning was talking about how they got a little emotional watching it all. Yeah, JH, that has something to do with it. I've just been here a long time, too, man. I've been doing this for 15 years. But we always show up early. That's kind of the junkie way, man. First one's there, you know? I was always brought up to, early is on time is late. You know what I mean? So, show up early. Basically, though, the big thing about showing up early is just so that you get the best camera position. We're trying to shoot from straight on. Now, during the pandemic era, all of our seats are assigned, so... but I still end up showing up first. It's just habit at this point. But, yeah, I just figure show up as early as you can. Make sure you get the best camera position so that our content looks as good as possible on the site. Ice out. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Anaru, Zombie's last fight? I don't know. I don't get that feeling. Maybe, though. I didn't get that feeling. Let me see if I can. Okay, Ron wants to know what could Anik possibly talking about. I'll see if I can overhear what they're talking about. Normally, it's about some kind of sports gambling. Normally, they're talking about playoff series that are going on. They basically just bouncing back and forth between like baseball and basketball and golf and everything. So the man likes to put a little action on sports. You know what I'm saying? Anarude, I didn't see that. I'll be surprised. I would be surprised, but I didn't see that. Doesn't mean I didn't miss it. I took a lot of time off this week. I took several vacation days so I could spend the day at soccer camp with my kids. So I showed up at media day, but I'll be honest, I've been a little unplugged this week because I've been spending time with my kids. So it was his first ever exposure to soccer. So I took Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday off so I could spend the day with him at soccer camp. Anarude wants to talk to Anik. Hit him up with a hot gambling tip on DM on IG, and I bet he'll get back to you. Give him some inside info. No, okay, Scott, let's be clear. I don't think he gambles on the fights. He gambles on every other sport. Mo Lester just out here trolling. Troll alert right here to everybody. If Mo Lester leaves a comment that fires you up, just let it be. Midnight. I do remember how it happened. I don't remember what fight it was. But yeah, I do remember. It's a story I've told a million times, but it's less exciting than most people probably think. All right, Kieran says Parisian is still cutting weight on his trainer's Instagram in the sauna suit a minute ago. So there's your update. Nigel, yeah, pretty much. I think everybody is kind of on that same page. That decision was wrong. I haven't seen many people that supported that decision. Matt W. Do any of the commentators gamble? No, I don't think the commentators are allowed to gamble on the fights. Too bad Nate never fought Zombie at 155. That's a fight I never thought about. But rooting for Zombie because I'm Korean. All right, Kamen Rider. Understandable. Rooting for Zombie. I'm not Korean. Trevor Hackett looking forward to the Matt Brown fight. Yeah, that could be fun. Matt Brown and Diego Lima could be a lot of fun. Rogan said he's allowed to gamble but doesn't. But would he be allowed to gamble on fights he's calling? Or just ones he's not? Interesting. I mean, there's not like any laws against it. It can be company policy. There's no laws they can't do it. Like for instance, me as a journalist, I don't gamble on the fights. But there's nothing saying I can't. I just feel like it makes me look at the fights differently. Like I'm not able to separate myself from my money. So, I have gambled on some fights here and there, but I just know it makes me look at them different. So I haven't put a bet on a fight in years. Just Scott, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Jens, how do you think fighters like Mark Coleman, Don Fry would do in today's UFC? I mean, look, their toughness levels are off the charts, right? But the game's just evolved so far. We saw it, right, when Hoist came back to fight Matt Hughes. I mean, just that early generation legends. I mean, true legends, and they were trailblazers, right? I mean, it was you didn't even know what the hell the sport was back then, and they did it, But the game has evolved so much, man. The game has evolved a lot. Philip, thank you, sir. And Ruti like Linkin Park. I feel like that's kind of an older band, but like when Damian Maya walks out to Linkin Park, I feel like there you go, right? He's been doing it for like a generation. PC Dave, more of a Nickelback guy. Poor Nickelback, right? They just get used as the default crappy band reference. Neon waiting for online sports betting to become legal in New York so you can live out your degenerate gambler fantasy. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be legal nationwide pretty soon, right? Severe 33. No, I don't gamble at all now, but I used to. I used to every now and then, but not a lot. Philip, everybody knows. Haven't you heard? Cheeto says the Pioneers would kick these kids' asses. Different mentality. Interesting take there. Look, man, they definitely had that was a different level of toughness, but John, do you think 20 years' time there'll be fighters who would make Khabib's and John Jones look average? I hate to say that, but yeah. I mean, I just think 20 years from now, where the game's going to be, dude, it's unbelievable, man. The development of it. I mean, you're seeing, kids from the time they're little training to do this, and they train in everything. Ice out. Any advice on getting started in MMA? Just do it. I always tell people to start local, like cover people in your area, man. Fighters and organizations in your area, they need that attention, right? I mean, how do they get word out about what's going on? Start covering them and giving them some exposure, and then inevitably you'll develop some relationships, and you can kind of utilize those in the long term. So cover your local organizations. Start there. Don Fry is the toughest SOB to enter the octagon. Don Fry is a legend, man. Absolute legend. Mo continues to keep his troll game high by calling Khabib average. Fortunately, the intelligent community here in the chat sees Mo as the troll that he is and doesn't bother responding. See, I won't press the button to make the chat ignore Mo because he hasn't really crossed any lines, but he's clearly trolling. Cayman Rider, don't give in to it. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Ooh, how would you start your own MMA media organization? I don't know. I never thought about it, to be honest with you. An MMA media organization. Oh, like the Journalists Association? I don't know. JT, I have met or interviewed Don Fry. Don Fry used to be a pretty regular guest on MMA Junkie Radio. Don Fridays, if you're old school, remember those. Don Fry is an absolute legend. Stay humble. Chaos versus Simmelsberger. Yeah, it's going to be fire. I think so, too. All right. Just mute this chump. GOAT. First UFC event I ever went to was UFC 16. Frank Shamrock versus Igor Zinoviev in New Orleans. Well, technically, Kenner, Louisiana, the Pontchartrain Event Center. I paid I want to say my ticket was like $50 to sit front row, which is crazy. Like now you can't even get in the building for $50. Abdurrahman, I have no idea what you're talking about, so sorry. What's the second most iconic thing you've seen in the UFC after the Weidman leg break? The Anderson leg break? I was there, unfortunately, for both of them. All right, Edrin, last mention, okay? I don't know what you're talking about. Jones doesn't deserve $10 million. Yeah, he does. Shane, he deserves money. I think the truth is I think he'd make $30 million in that fight with Ngannou. I just think it'd be on the back end. I don't think it'll be up front. So I hope the fight happens. I really do. Joseph Corrigan, you like Cleveland? I do like Cleveland. I mean, in the summer at least, when we went there for fights, I always had a good time. Favorite piece of MMA collector's memorabilia that you own? I don't collect a lot of stuff, to be honest with you, but I do. I've got the autographed UFC 100 poster, which I think is pretty cool because you got a lot of kind of iconic fighters on there. Plus you got, John Jones autograph on there in the undercard. So that's hanging up in my living room at home. Scott Storm, my next favorite sport after MMA is soccer. Actually, I don't get to watch much of it anymore, but I played it growing up and I still like it. Do you think Conor can still fight? I do think Conor can still fight. And I think not having a lengthy layoff this time could be good for him. Sounds like he's changed his training approach this time around and kind of minimalized things around him and distractions. So as of now, I'm still picking Dustin in the trilogy fight, but Conor could absolutely win. He tagged Dustin a little bit last time out, but I'm still siding with Dustin, I think, right now. Most of the Colby fans live vicariously through his shtick. Colby behind the scenes is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, which is funny because people just absolutely hate his guts. And I get it; he brought it on himself, like with everything that he does. So, but look, it got him the recognition. I mean, Colby, how good was Colby doing for a long time? And nobody paid attention to him. I remember him first coming to the UFC and saying, dude, this guy's future title contender. You look at his wrestling game, you look at his cardio, you look at his pace. I'm like, this dude is a potential title challenger, and nobody cared. And then he started with the shtick, and that gets him the recognition and gets him the opportunities. It sucks. I don't like the shtick, and I think he's definitely crossed some lines at times. But unfortunately, that gets the clicks. I mean, look at what the Paul brothers are doing, right? I mean, the numbers that they do are off the charts. The traffic they generate is off the charts. And it sucks, but it's the reality. Dark, I'd take Islam in that fight. And Arud Israel versus Rob, too, man. I'm pumped for that. Pumped for that. Yeah, peace. I struggle to believe anyone who idolized Trump being nice. I wouldn't even be surprised to find out that Colby really doesn't even have any political leanings. You know what I mean? Alan Grant, hardest part of being an MMA journalist, just being away from home, just the travel, missing my son. As my kid gets older, like I said, I took vacation days this week to be at his soccer camp. Man, like he's at that age, he's 9. Like I love just hanging out with them and playing sports with them and stuff like that. So honestly, that's the only part. The only drawback is just being away from my son. Tim's sleepy, ready for Parisian to weigh in so we can doze off. Favorite place to vacation? There's a whole lot of questions in that one question. My favorite place to vacation, though. I didn't even know there was that. I used to go party in New Orleans a lot. That used to be my spot. I haven't gone there in years, but New Orleans used to be my spot. Any place where you can walk around on the streets with a frosty beverage in your hand is all right with me. Shane Joy, I just wanted to be involved in sports, and so I went to school for journalism. Played a bunch of sports growing up, but realized like the idea of being a professional athlete was probably not going to happen. So I enjoyed writing, and so I'm so damn old. I wanted to just be a sports writer. Nowadays, you got to do everything. You got to do multimedia and all that stuff. So Philip, yeah, I used to train. It's been years, as you can tell. But yeah, I love. I used to train back in Dallas years and years ago, and now my son trains. Now I spend time watching him at practice. Laura Sanko has entered the frame and has gained several of your attention. BC. Ron Wheeler, the plane trip to Abu Dhabi is not bad. It's actually, man, the Fight Island stuff, I'm going to miss that because we had to take a charter flight from the United States straight to there from Vegas. So it was a direct flight. The other times I'd gone to Abu Dhabi, I basically went like Vegas to New York, New York to London, London to Abu Dhabi. So I'm going to miss that charter flight. 16 and a half hours, but it was direct, and you were done. Mr. Idiot, Hamzat Shemaev. I still believe his talent is real. Man, I'm just hoping this COVID stuff didn't mess him up. You know what I mean? Hoping that there's no long-term effects. It's a damn shame that he's missed out. But, yeah, I think Hamzat's the real deal. Fitness challenge. Thank you. Angela the Secret. Turns out can't do like a 24-pack every day. Probably not good. Neon, that's funny. I'll just have to laugh at that. Mark Fellows, I'll pass it on, man. I know this will be disappointing, but, got to do what you got to do. Yeah, it was cracking me up. Uh-oh. Kieran says Parisian's en route. Kieran Taylor with all the updates today. Thank you, sir. So it sounds like Josh Parisian is en route. Will be our last one, and then we'll have the face-offs immediately after. All right, Plumber, I'll pass that on, man. I'm sure she'll be heartbroken. But, you got to put the foot down sometimes.
But yeah, I'm sure. Travel with it, I think. Yeah, it was nice. Plus, too, she had like massive upgrades and status from all their boxing trips. So whenever they fly somewhere.
Supposedly Parisian's en route, by the way.
What's that?
Supposedly Parisian's en route.
Kieran
Taylor gave us the shit. He's been giving us the information.
Oh, thanks, Kieran. I love Kieran. Tell him to hurry up. Kieran Ichiban.
And then we're going to have to wait for another hour for Dana.
I think it's not going to fit.
No,
Fuck that.
I was just so curious. I was like, it would suck to keep putting these mics out every week.
Just to break him down.
Yeah, when was the last time you even did that?
It's been months.
It's been a while since you showed up. I don't even have questions ready for him if you did show up today, because I'm so, since he never shows up, I don't even need
Yeah,
them
me
together.
neither. What is there to even talk to him about? I guess Connor and Dustin's the next big thing? Was it even then? I think he stopped, I know, I tell you when he stopped. Is that live?
Yes, it is.
He stopped when he called. That was the last time he did it.
Oh.
And that was right before Endeavour went public.
That was the last time he
That's
did
the
it,
last
right?
time he did it.
That's been months.
Yeah. When did he call him that? Because I remember he stopped right after that, and I was like, was that linked? And then it was in February, because the sale was confirmed in February, and then it only came out public later, right? So
Yeah.
February. So you can probably stop putting the mics out.
We're just laughing. The poor tech guy here, Tracy's one of the nicest guys. He has to put out these microphones every week, and then Dana hasn't shown up in how many months, so he just sets them all up. They don't get used, and then he breaks them all down.
But he has to wash them afterwards as well.
Terence McKinney, boy, what a debut. I haven't followed up. Anybody see, is Terence McKinney's knee okay? Please tell me he didn't blow out his ACL or something. That was a heck of a debut. That was Mark Fellows picking up. That was a hot tee. Oscar Willis made a little trip over here. Favorite KO strike, spinning back elbow. Those are pretty cool. Been a handful of those. Oh, man. The chat has taken a decided turn. Hyperextension. That's good to hear. This chat. This chat. T-Bone, what's up, man? Jathan, you can just close this.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up with a little things that video that I have stored, and I'll shoot this and take some
Joseph, no, there's not. You know what? 99% of, I mean, every now and then people have moments that I always kind of remember that they're cutting weight and that sort of thing. So if people are rude, you just kind of move on, you know. I think Trevor nailed it right there. Jermaine, ignore the comments. That's what I'm here doing. I'm talking to people making comments. Not you. All right. All right. Kieran's reporting dead on accurate again. Here's Josh Parisian.
Better now. All right, our final athlete to weigh in this morning in the UFC's heavyweight division, Josh Parisian.
Even.
266, the official weight for Josh Parisian.
Okay, so that's our final weigh-in. Everybody did make weight, no issues. You can check out the full results over at MMA Junkie. We'll just leave the stream up. Should I face us at the top of the hour? Give me just a second. I got to edit this final photo and get that posted, and then we can chat a little bit more about whoever happens to be in the frame at that time. Be right back. All right, so got that uploaded. So if you're looking for photos of everybody on the scale, if you missed anybody, want to see everybody's looking, that sort of thing, check it out. I got that gallery live up on MMA Junkie. We got the full result. Oh, yeah, I need to edit that post. Sorry. I'll be back. More work to do.
He was just right here talking about it.
He was.
All right, got that post updated. So yeah, everybody may wait without issue. You can check out the photo gallery at MMA Junkie right now. You can check out the official weights over there as well. Cold Coffee, Ken Hathaway, he'll have some video highlights coming soon, and we'll just leave the stream open right here so you can check out the face-offs as well. Theoretically, UFC President Dana White could scrum afterwards, but he hasn't done that in months, so we're not really holding our breath on that one. It seemed like it got a little rough there for a second. Tony, man, I was keeping an eye on it. BC Dave, not a lot of activity over there on the side at this point. Anaruda, I haven't seen Dana yet, so we might get a Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby appearance this morning. Not sure. Or maybe we do get Dana. Who knows? Like I said, it's a game time decision, so we never know. All right, I'll yell at Cold Coffee, BC. Hey, Kenny, BC Dave wants to see what's going on in the side area rather than just the stage. There you go. Pan per request. James Mendoza, that Phoenix crowd was insane. I mean, there were a bunch of Diaz fans for sure. We got you, BC. We got you. Yeah, like I said, it's just kind of not much going on right now. A blue 316 shirt next to UFC event. That's funny. Strikeforce Diaz. I went with Ige in the main event. But I think it's going to be a brawl. And look, man, you can't ever count the zombie out. Aiden, face-offs are at the top of the hour, so we're talking about just a couple minutes away, actually. Nate versus Oliveira in Brazil during Carnival. That'd be crazy. Do you already have it done? Look at you. If you want to catch a highlight of the action, Cold Coffee is going to roll that in now. Check out this production value. Now, if it's face-off, see you, Jeff. See you tomorrow, brother. Now, if the face-offs get started, he'll have to cut it short. But check out this production value from Cold Coffee. He's about to play the weigh-in highlights.
126, the official weight for Lara Procopio. 125 and a half.
Production value
the
being
official weight
pumped
for
in.
Casey
We might have to cut it
O'Neal.
short. We're hearing some scrambling in the back, but thank you too, Cyber.
156 pounds, the official weight for Ricky Glenn.
As you enjoy these highlights of the earlier festivities, I'm going to get
154 and a
myself
half,
into
the official
position
weight
to
for
take photos
Joaquim Silva.
of these face-offs. And Cold Coffee might have to end these a little early if fighters are getting on stage. But if not,
The official
here's
weight,
a quick recap of the
249
earlier
pounds
action
for
today.
Rocky Martinez. 266, the official weight for Josh Parisian.
even.
170 pounds for Matthew Semmelsberger. 169 pounds, the official weight for Chaos Williams.
115 even.
The official weight, 115 pounds for Avina Janjidoba. 114 and a half, the official weight for Kanako Murata. 205 and a half, the official weight for Nikolai Negu Medianu. 204 and a half, the official weight for Alexa Kammer. 171, the official weight for Diego Lima. 170 and a half pounds for Matt Brown.
186 even.
The official weight, 186 pounds for Bruno Silva.
Unless I'm just way behind. I may be way behind. Oh, yeah, there you go.
185 and a half.
185 and a half, the official weight for Wellington Turman.
145 and a half.
145 and a half, the official weight for Julian Erosa.
135 and a half.
135 and a half for Davey Grant. 136, the official weight for Chitovera. The official weight, 242 pounds for Sergey Spivak. 228, the official weight for the legend Alexi Olynyk. All right, next fighter to the scale. He is one of the men around whom this fight card was built. The 8th-ranked UFC featherweight contender, Dan 50K Ige. All right, thank you all for being here for the Stare Down UFC Fight Night. The Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige. Our man Sean Shelby is in the building with our first prelim, which can be seen live on ESPN2 and also ESPN Plus. In the women's flyweight division, Casey O'Neill versus Laura Procopio. All right, next matchup in the UFC's lightweight division, Joaquim Silva versus Ricky Glenn. All right, next prelim at heavyweight, it'll be Josh Parisian versus Rocky Martinez. All right, and the featured bout of the prelims in the UFC's light heavyweight division, Alexa Kammer versus Nikolai Negu. All right, that brings us to the main card, also live on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. First up in the welterweight division, Matt Brown versus Diego Lima. All right, next main card. It'll be Julian Erosa versus Sungwoo Cho. All right, next up, a featured bout in the UFC's bantamweight division, Marlon Chitovera versus Dangerous Davey Grant. All right, and finally, our main event between two of the featherweight. One more sleep, folks. We'll see you in the morning.
Am I still live here? All right, guys. Face-offs in the books. Like I said, we'll have photo galleries, video highlights of everything at MMA Junkie later. And, of course, we'll have full coverage of the fights tomorrow night. So join us there. Thanks.
Just the middle mountain.